They did it again. Steel Wool posted a second teaser for Five Nights at Freddy's, and they still haven't confirmed that they're posting teasers for the next Five Nights at Freddy's game. But this one doesn't even say it's not a teaser. This is getting out of hand. There's 2 of them now, and it's driving me crazy. But I think I've cracked what everybody's been trying to solve in the reflection of the image. Slices. Put on your aprons and let's bake ourselves a theory. I don't know what to do anymore. It's another damn spot the difference. This time it's a rack of sunglasses with different flooring and walls. For the record, the differences are here, here, and here. It's all sunglasses, obviously. But this time the post has the text, "A future so bright, you have to wear shades." The question is, can you spot the 3 differences? Sunglasses emoji, sun emoji. And like, what? A future so bright, you have to wear shades. First of all, who doesn't call them sunglasses? Why are they called shades here? That might just be a localization thing. Maybe that's what they call sunglasses in the West Coast. I don't know. I live near Philadelphia. We call them sunglasses over here. This is just a crazy post in general. And luckily, I don't really have to spend time proving to you that this is about Five Nights at Freddy's. Because first of all, go watch my first video. I spent half the time trying to prove to you that this is about Five Nights at Freddy's. But now there's 2 of them. The first one was like, you know, maybe it's about Five Nights at Freddy's. There's the checkerboard flooring. It kind of looks like the color schemes. You can make the argument. But this one, not only was the in-between post between these 2 posts about the NDA mints from Help Wanted 2, aka subtly telling us that like, hey, we can't share anything yet, we have to wait until we're allowed to because of NDA. But look at these glasses. That's just Montgomery Gator sunglasses. Like 1-to-1, same color, same shape. And look at the carpet. I'm not like an expert on Security Breach and its textures and its flooring, but that carpet looks straight out of Security Breach, and you cannot convince me otherwise. This has to be a screenshot or some other kind of teaser for the next Five Nights at Freddy's game. And for even more reasons why, again, the video on the first post. So what is this post trying to tell us? Is there anything new? Because for the 3rd time, I made an entire video already about the last Spot the Difference and what it's telling us about the next Five Nights at Freddy's game. How it's likely a newer Pizzaplex. How this is probably the Pirate's Cove. How it's likely the original FNAF 1 animatronics, but now glam rockified. And does this change any of my opinion on that? No. But it does give me new evidence. Man, that break room was nice, but I guess I'm back in the pool rooms already. It honestly wouldn't even be too bad in here if I had some kind of entertainment. And even though I found a fully charged phone in the break room and it's connected to Wi-Fi somehow, none of my apps are working because my location says I'm in the back rooms. There's no servers in the back rooms. I just wish I could watch like The Amazing Digital Circus or something again on Netflix, but everything's blocked. Wait a minute, there's another app on here. Proton VPN. Okay, let's see if I can connect. Oh wow, with their over 20,000 servers in over 148 countries, it's actually really easy to connect. And now I can set my location to the US by connecting to one of their plenty of servers over there. There we go. Now shows are popping up. Oh, and with their VPN accelerator, I can get up to 22 gigabyte per second speed. Forget Digital Circus, I'm just gonna do some cloud gaming at that rate. And it's compatible with most of my apps out the gate. It's like my whole phone is protected and private. And I can turn on stealth, so wherever that Wi-Fi is coming from, or whoever it's coming from, they won't know I'm connected to it. Proton VPN has it all. And if you want to find that out for yourself, make sure to click the link in the description or go to protonvpn.com/rytoast to get up to a 70% discount when you sign up for a Proton VPN 2-year plan. That's 70% off. It's an insane deal for a wonderful service. Thanks again to Proton VPN for sponsoring today's video. Well, now that I've got the speed for some cloud gaming, I think it's time I earned a break. Man, my feet are gonna get wrinkled in here. For one, look at the text. A future so bright. That's gotta be a subtle nod to the fact that this sequel is a sequel and not a prequel. Not to mention the idea of this being sunglasses at all being another nod to a Pirate Cove-like area. I mean, this stuff was being teased all the way back in Help Wanted 2. After you release Glitch Trap, Helpy goes to like a beach resort. But this isn't it. This isn't all the information we have, because there's something deeper hidden in this image that many people have rightfully pointed out, but no one's quite cracked it in a satisfying way yet. I alluded to it at the beginning of the video, but the pair of sunglasses at the top middle column of this image has something in its reflection, something that appears like a bit of text. This text, like I said, it's barely visible. I've tried changing the contrast, the brightness, I adjusted the hues, I used settings in Photoshop I didn't know existed before, and I can't make this any clearer. This is the best I can do, and in my opinion, and many others, it looks like an A-L-L-Y. Some people see an extra line here. I think that's just the way the L is curved on the sunglasses reflection. And like, sure, ally, but like, what is this actually trying to say? I've seen a lot of guesses and none of them have really stuck out to me as convincing. People have said rally because maybe this is like a racing thing. Other people have pointed out that the other lens might have a 2 and a 3. Not super convincing to me. But while I was messing with the values, I noticed something that I haven't seen people point out yet, and that's that there's some other lines here. It's not just A-L-L-Y. The Y has an extra line going out here, and to the left of the A, there's 2 dots. Now, when scratching my head about what letter might be to the left of the A, only one came to mind that would fit right there, and that's a C, which would make our letters C-A-L-L-Y. And if this is truly a pirate-themed area, wouldn't it make the most sense for this to be scally, as in scallywag, the other line being the beginning for the W to finish the word, as in R-E scallywag. You know, pirate stuff. In fact, I wouldn't doubt that this word is part of a larger sign for a treasure hunt area or like game thing within Pirates Cove, because the Y and the W, if that's a W, make an X in the middle of the word scallywag, like scallywag scavengers or something like that, and the X in the middle being the X that marks the spot. But again, am I making this video just to say that I think I'm still right? Not really, not fully, anyway. Sure, part of the reason I'm making this video is to say that I think I am right, in spite of what some people, they're lying to me, might be thinking. I do think I'm right here. I do think this is alluding to some sort of Pirate Cove in the next Five Nights at Freddy's game. But there are 2 other reasons for why I'm making this video. The second is just to keep you guys updated on what Steelwool is putting out there. I don't really cover news, but like, we've gotten no FNAF news in a while, so we're a little desperate, and if this is FNAF news, I want to share it with you. But there's a third reason I'm making this video, and that's because somebody else in the community had a brain blast that I cannot help but respect. One that might show us what's actually really being teased with all of these teasers. One that was sent in from my weekly podcast. I collect questions and theories for primarily Five Nights at Freddy's, but other fandoms as well, on my weekly podcast on this channel, Freddy Fazbear Pizza Podcast. And Vivian sent in one that is so good that not only do I bring it up in, I think, next week's podcast, but I had to immediately put it in the video I'm making on this teaser, because I think she's just right. She said this: "Hi Rye, I just had a thought regarding the Spot the Difference teasers. What if it's a nod to Ruin, specifically the Vanny mask Cassie uses? Since environments change while wearing the mask, this could be indicating a similar mechanic is coming in the next game, be it Ruin 2, Security Breach 2, Sister Location 2, or FNAF World 2. And like, yeah, that makes total sense. The entirety of Ruin was Spot the Difference. Cut to what we had to do in Ruin. What we had to do in Ruin was literally spot the difference. See things that were different with and without the Vanny mask. The same thing in Help Wanted 2. So both of these teasers being coded in a spot the difference might be implying an even bigger teaser for the new game. The overarching theme of spot the difference. Because in this new game, we might be using the Vanny mask again, or something like it. But the question then becomes, why the hell are we using that thing? If this new game truly takes place after Security Breach, which it seems like it's going to be because the future is so bright, why would we still be wearing a Vanny mask? None of our protagonists would go anywhere near it. Do you really think Gregory or Vanessa would willingly put on something with glitch trap inside of it after what they've been through? And Cassie's dad is already dead, but if the Brazil ending is canon and Cassie's still alive, then she's not, and glitch trap might have already taken over her mind at this point. This is what got me to thinking, what if this new game being teased is an inverse of what Security Breach and Ruin showed us? Security Breach gave us this massive pizzaplex to explore, and it was up to date and clean and fresh and new, and then Ruin showed us what happened after it went bad. We got a taste of that really scary nature of a rundown amusement park, but in this mega mall-plex. And most of us really liked that. Most of us saw Ruin and went, this is what Security Breach should have been. It's cool that we got to see the pizzaplex in its prime, or a little past its prime, but it was way more interesting when it was run down and scary. What if Steel Wool heard that and they're flipping it on its head? The next game we get being the Ruin before we see the pizzaplex. Cassie and the Mimic, or Glitch Trap, or whoever she's working for at this point, hear that Fazbear's opening a new pizzaplex, and we play as Cassie, utilizing the Vanny mask, exploring the pizzaplex, and getting it ready for its destruction, for Ruin 2, showing us what the pizzaplex is meant to be like, all so that the Five Nights at Freddy's game after can take place in the ruined pizzaplex that they've made. It's a perfect inverse and a perfect repetition. Think about it. We got Security Breach, this big game showing us a prime pizzaplex, and Ruin, a smaller game showing us the dark side of it. But now we're getting Security Breach 2, a smaller game showing us the pizzaplex in its prime. And after it, we'll get Ruin 2, showing us what becomes of a pizzaplex once the Mimic or Glitch Trap or Cassie or whoever gets their grubby little hands all up in it. So not only in this next game will we be using the Vanny mask, but the game after, we're going to have to spot the difference. If Steel Wool posts a third image, I think I'm gonna die. If I'm wrong about this, I'm never gonna live it down. I still have to live down the nightmare clip. Nightmare? If this is nothing, I'm losing my goddamn mind. But think about the timing. Think about the timing. Not only is all of this very FNAF coded, but we are getting closer and closer to the FNAF anniversary in August. And this lines up pretty well. The little teasers, little sprinkles as we get closer, and then on the anniversary, bam, a trailer. I'm just saying. And if there's a trailer, you know I'm gonna be covering it, so you better subscribe. Guys, we are so close to 300,000 subscribers. But in the meantime, if you haven't watched my video on the first teaser they posted, you really should watch it, and you can find it right here. Make sure to click the link in the description or go to protonvpn.com/rytoast to get up to a 70% discount when you sign up for a Proton VPN 2-year plan. Thanks again to Proton VPN for sponsoring today's video. If you want your fan art featured on the channel, make sure to share it with #ToastArt, and a huge thank you to our generous patrons who, without their support, I could not afford the editors that help me with this channel. Within a special shout out to our breadwinners of the week, Madison Esmond, Marks, Sam Pinnell, and Westwood Meadowlark. And until next time, as always, stay toasty, slices.